Hello, my people! Welcome to another episode of the Risky News, where we are gonna be talking about what happened in this past week. And without further ado, let's start with what everyone wants to know: what's going on with the Risk World Cup. Right now, we are heading into the semifinals, and we are soon gonna be able to crown the new champion of the Risk Free for All tournament. But first, before we go to the semifinals, let's talk about the round 9 results. This is also the quarterfinals, and there were 4 groups. As part of game 1, we have XE Dude 96, Carter. We have also General Baines, Sauron God, Kietsu, Lina Kitty, and Eli's. And from this group, Lina Kitty, Eli's, and General Baines will be moving on to the next round. For game number 2, there was Harriet, Iversama, Maren, that he came from the waiting list, Jax Wild, Brilliant Frog of the White Meadow, and Dairy is Scary. And from group number 2, we'll be moving on. Harriet, Brilliant Frog from the White Meadow, and Jax Wild. Nice. Group 3, we have Vampire Chicken, Cecil Dogan, Fabian Armada, Trunk, Hudson Hornet, and Finish Joke. And from this group, moving on will be Trunk, Finish Joke, and Hudson Hornet. And for the 4th game, this is the last one. This is the one that I actually was working on right now. I'm so sorry for that. But for the 4th game, we have Tyler, Dignia, Ice Dragon, I Am Rockster, Phoenix, and Feliz. And moving on will be Tyler, Feliz, and Dignia. So congratulations to all of these 12 players that are going to be moving on to the semifinals. The semifinals are going to be happening next week. And after that, of course, it's going to be the finals, where we are going to find out who is the new FFA champion of the Risk community, folks. And I am excited to see. This is what I like. I am liking like all of these players, how they move on. And of course, you see a lot of names that are repeating over and over again throughout the different tournaments. So of course, you know that these players are good, and that is going to be something that some of these players are people that we would like to interview sometime in the future. And about that, bear with me, because we're going to have an announcement about that too. So moving on to round 10, the semifinals. I know most of us are already out of the tournament, folks, but for those of you that would like to keep growing in the Risk community and move on further along in the tournaments, you need to learn about the tournaments, especially the ones that are in the finals or semifinals. You know, these ones are the hardest, because you're going to be competing against the top of the top. You're going to be competing with a lot of players that they prep and they made it all the way there. So you need to know how to beat these settings. And that is what we're going to be helping you guys with some information. So for the semifinals, we have... It's going to be 3 games again. We're going to keep the same settings where they play 3 games. The first game is going to be played with 6 players. The second one is going to be played with 5. And the last one is going to be played with 4. And whoever wins each one of the 3 games will be moving on to the finals that are going to be happening next in 2 weeks. So for the first game, it is going to be played in Mont Saint Michel, which is an actual castle in France. The game is going to be capital. It's a weird game because it's going to be capital 70%, which means that it's going to be a capital games, but whoever gets 62 out of the 62 territories is going to be getting the win of the game. So you can either win by... Well, yeah, no, you're not going to be able to win by killing everybody, Caps games, but you're going to be able to win by getting the 70%, which is a nice modification. That way we can see how Caps are playing in a tournament. Sorry. And also, we're going to be able to have this alternative condition of winning, so the games don't stalemate forever. So that is a nice addition. Congratulations to the people, to the organizers, for making these modifications happening, and we can see Caps on this tournament. Caps can stalemate, but even if you are an awesome player, even if you are a top player, Cap games can stalemate, and the fact that they're giving this alternative condition is gonna help a lot to see the Caps and see the structure and the strategy behind the Caps games but still have a condition where the games are not gonna last forever. So that is a really, really good move. So it's gonna be no blizzards, no fog of war, unstable portals. This game is gonna be fixed, and it's 90 seconds. Monster Mitchell, it might look like a small map, but it's huge. It's a big, big map. And the alliances are gonna be on, because of course it's a fixed game. And neutral bot, in case somebody is going to be, if somebody bots out, then you don't have a bot reckoning around. The second game is gonna be Lunar Mining Facility. It's gonna be a 70% game, but we have the return of the modifier that people cannot hold a bonus even by mistake. The game, there is no blizzards, there is no fog of war, unstable portals, auto placement, progressive bonuses, and it's gonna be 90 seconds to neutral bot, so nice. And the third game is gonna be one of the Dune maps. It's gonna be in Arcane, 70% domination, there is no modifier, so hey, go at it. You can take bonuses. Blizzards, there is no blizzards, no fog of war, unstable portals, auto placement, card bonuses are fixed. 60-second timer. This is a fairly small map. There's going to be alliances, of course, because it's fixed, and it's going to be a neutral bot with balance splits for all 3 games. So let's go over the maps, folks. And for the first game, we have, this is Mont Saint Michel. Again, as I said, this is an actual castle of the shore, of the north shore of France. So this is one of those castles that, this is one of those maps that I'm surprised to see that it's an actual thing that is in the world. Like, it's not just a fictional castle. So this is what you can see, folks. And in this map, something really important is that this map is a little bit choky. Don't get confused by the fact that you see that it's a small map, because it's like a weird ball in the center of the map. There is a lot of territories here, and you can run out of time trying to run the 70. So as you can see, there are different choke points, like this choke point here. You have this choke point here, this one in here. So what do I mean? And we're going to be talking about this in the keys to win on this game, but you have to be careful, or what, you know. The place where you place your cap doesn't mean that is the same place that you're going to be choking points to block the 70% lane. So that is something that people need to be careful on, because even though you can run the 70% and people will be taking bonuses, you have to ensure that you have enough troops in your cap, that people doesn't take your cap away, and also in the different lanes where you can actually choke. There is no blizzards in here, which means that it's going to be harder for people to actually block lanes. As for bonuses, this map, again, this map can be compared to the meta settings, to the Europe Advanced map, because it is so big that you need, even if you're playing this in progressive, you need to hold a bonus, because by the time that the bonuses start getting high enough that you can get kills, if you don't have a bonus, you are gonna be probably eliminated before the trades are worth it. So my advice is, you need to take, everybody knows this is fixed, but you need to take at least 1 bonus or 2 bonuses, and we're gonna get that in a second. But you can see all the maps, and going from the north, from the north down, you have the +4 in the north passage, you have the courtyard, is also a +4, you have a +3 in the west yard, you have Mont Saint Michel proper, that is a +7, you have the north wall, that is gonna be a +5, you have Saint Pierre, that is a +7, you have the Abbey, that is a +3, Hill Road is a +4, the Residence is a +3, the Markets is a +7, you have Port, that is a +6, Old Town is a +4, and you have the Stores, that is a +6, and last but not least, you have the East Wall, that is a +7. The North Wall, in this map, the North Wall is kind of like the Asia of the classic map. It's the one where, if people just taking most of the bonuses, that is where people trade, or that is the bonus that almost nobody can ever get. It can be taken, but again, it's a +9, and that comes into play. Now, for the second game, we have Lunar Mining Facility. This is also a choky map, as you can see. There is a lot of different places. Hey, Carter, I'm sorry to hear that you got eliminated, my friend. I was running for you. I practice with everybody, but I was running. I do secretly in my heart, I route for the people that play with me a lot, and I want everybody to make well and move on and have that experience. But again, in my heart, I secretly rooting for those people that practice with me a lot and play with me a lot. So it's sad that you got eliminated, but congratulations to making it to the quarterfinals. So Continuing with the semifinals, round 10, we have Lunar Mining Facility. Remember, guys, you cannot hold a bonus in here. There is only 2 or 3 bonuses that are fairly easy to take, but this is a progressive game, and they're trying to force you people to play this as a real progressive game, which means that there is no bonuses, and we're gonna go into the keys later. And as you can see in the bonus map, there is only like this +3 in here, you have this +4, this +4 maybe, so there is only a handful of bonuses that can be fairly easily taken, like the laboratories. There is a 444, so that means that if you don't have any of these bonuses early on, you are gonna be locked out. You're not gonna have anything, and you're gonna be losing fairly on. So I do like the implementation of the no taking bonus after somebody gets killed on this map. And as you can see, it's really choky, which means that this game, somebody's going to be running the 70% later on, probably whenever you are in the 70s or something like that, or after somebody gets killed. Yeah. Okay, so the next one, the last map, is going to be one of the Doom maps. It's nice to see that they finally make it to the tournament scene. I was wondering when this was going to happen, but as you can see right now, this is the map, and you have a lot of different bonuses. It's also a choky map, so that means that the unstable portals are gonna be super important for this game. But it's just a lot of islands, and you have like 2 big-ish continents on each side. It's really a small map. It looks good. It looks big, but it's really small. It's not that big, and that means that it's fitting for a 4-player game. Now, these are the bonuses. You have a +2 here. That is a 2. That is a 2 for. It's a 4 for 2. Then you have this. That is a 6 for 4. You have this. That is a 6 for 3. Then you have these islands here. That is a 4 for 3. You have these middle islands. That is a split. It's a split bonus, so whoever gets that, they can be blindsided in one of the other sides, and they're gonna be screwed. So this is gonna be a +3, a 3 for 3. You have this one is a 4 for 3 that trades Frank. You have the Spaceport North that is a 3. You have the Spaceport South that is 2, and then you have the Harkonnen Camp that is a 5 bonus territory. So, moving on, what are the keys? Well, for the first game, you have to choose your cap wisely, folks. You have to ensure that your cap is open. Remember, guys, caps, yeah, the game can end whenever somebody takes all of the caps, but the caps can be defensive and the caps can be offensive. And depending where you can place your caps, that means that is how you are going to be able to combat the game. Like, usually you want your cap. People think that caps is something that you just place in a corner, or you place out of the way so people don't take it. And no, you want your cap to be as accessible as it can be, because you can use it as defense. Because if somebody wants to hit you or break you, they have to go through your cap. Or you want people to have to actually you can to open it so you can actually go and hit them back. So you want your cap to be accessible, so you have to choose your cap wisely. Yes, the fact that you can hold a bonus doesn't mean that you should have your cap right there in the middle of that bonus, because if you get your cap in a choky area, then you are gonna be screwed on this game. The next key is going to be get a bonus, of course. This is a fixed game, people, so you need to get a bonus, and after that, you need to ensure that you get a second bonus. And that's going to depend on which bonuses you have, because remember, you have to keep the balance of the game. What is the balance of the game? Everybody should be making around the same amount of troops per turn. So that is going to depend on which bonuses people take, and that depends on which bonuses people let them hold. So just remember the balance of the game, folks, because this is a fixed game, so you cannot just let people hold that. You cannot let people just hold way too many bonuses, because then they're just gonna be putting away. The next one is keep your cap strong, folks. Remember, even though it's fixed, if you lose your cap, now that it's fixed, it's even harder for you to actually get your cap back. So try to make sure that you have enough troops, depending on whatever is going on in the board, so your cap is not taken easily. So just be careful with the risk, pun intended, that you're willing to take. The next one is block 70% lanes, folks. Again, these maps are choky. This is applicable for all of them, but you have to be careful. You have to ensure that you block 70%. Now with caps, that means that you may not have to place like a big stack in the entrance. You might be able to place like a big stack next to it. It depends how the game actually progresses, but again, you have to ensure that you block the 70% lanes that other players may try to use, especially if you have one of the key bonuses that people are gonna be taking, and that is gonna be mostly the bonuses in the center, because people are just gonna go through those bonuses. So you have to ensure that you kinda block the 70% lanes so people don't take them as easily as they could. The next one is line your 70%. So while you block the 70% of other players, you have to ensure that your stacks are open enough so you can go and run for the 70%. This just line before you actually go for the 70% whenever you have at least 62 territories. That is what you need to have so you can win the 70%. Because even though it's a caps game, that means that somebody has to have 62 territories. Now, I don't know if these games are going to be broadcasted, so that means that this is going to be an honor system. So people, at this rate, I don't expect anybody to be crying about this, but again, maybe somebody take a snap a picture and they show that they have 62, and that's what I would do. I will just snap a picture of the game and I will just share that so it is clear that that the person actually won the 70% on these ones. Now, moving on to the second game. Remember, guys, you cannot hold a bonus until after one player is eliminated. After that, you're more than welcome to do so. But usually, when you kill one player, it's just a chain, and usually other people are lined up and other people start just dying. Now, remember, people, you have to spread yourself out because it is a progressive game. You need to have as many positions as you can, and because this map is so choky, that means that there is a good chance that people are going to be kill guarded. Next one, line kills if possible. If you can try to get somebody, if you can try to get the bounty and you can try to, well, there are no bounties anymore, my bad. If you can get people killed, try to line them up, but just don't go over the way. It's more important to actually line your 70% lanes. Now, the 70% are important, but this map is choky, so there is a good chance that people will have to wait until the portals are open. After that, you have to also ensure that you block 70% lanes. In this map, it's easier to do so because there is only a few passages where people can actually take. So that means that, well, that was a mistake. I forgot to check which is the actual territory count for this one. My bad. I will try to fix this in post-production. But just run the 70% whenever you have enough for 72 territories. Well, in this case, 72. I don't know how much is actually for this map. My bad. But what do I mean by that, people? Because this map is so choky, that means that you actually will have, there is a good chance that you have to go through big stacks of other players. So you need to ensure that whatever your big stacks are, you are compensating by the fact that you have to hit a big stack of another player, and then you have to take some more territory. So you need to ensure that you have enough to run the 70%. Again, I will fix that in post-production. Moving on, for the third game, it's going to be exactly all, because it's a fixed game, it's going to be all the same advice as in the first game, but you don't need to worry about caps because there is no caps on this game. So, best of luck for all of those players that made it to the semifinals. I am so happy with the players that we have, and I am also sad with the players that got eliminated, but that is part of the game, folks, and just making it this far into the competition is an accomplishment on its own. Now, moving on to professional risk takers. Remember, guys, that professional risk takers, all the games are... Remember, guys, that all the games for professional risk takers are... Whoops, my bad. Remember, guys, that all the games for professional risk takers are broadcasted live on twitch.tv/professional risk takers. All the games, if you miss them, they are uploaded into the Professional Risk Takers YouTube channel. And if you want more information, you can go to Professional Risk Takers /PR events, and in there you're gonna be able to see all the information for all the tournaments that they're having at the time. You're gonna be able to see all the information that is necessary for the tournaments. Now, moving on to the Hot Buns World Tour. This tournament also getting to a conclusion. So in the finals, the finalists were Nathaniel, we have Bart, we have Hitsuge Hayashi, we have Riddle, Jaxwal, and Sango. And the winner of the Hot Buns World Tour Season 2 was... My bad. The winner is, come on, Bart, winning the Hot Buns World Tour. So, congratulations to Bart for winning another of the professional risk takers tournaments. I am so happy for Bart. He's having an awesome year this year. He already won he already won 2 other tournaments. I need to check them out, but I think this is the third tournament though. This is at least the third tournament that Bart has won this year. So congratulations to Bart for getting the tournament, the first place on this tournament. So moving on to the Capture the Flag Open. The first round and the second round already happened, and we are moving on to the octofinals. I got eliminated. I had really bad games. It really doesn't matter if you come up with a tournament. That doesn't mean that you're gonna have the best luck, even though I knew the settings. Still, I didn't play well enough to move on to the octofinals, but that means that other players are actually moving on, and that is also something good for celebration. So for the octofinals, the map is gonna be the settings. The map is Pangea. 70% dominations. We have Blizzards. We have Fog of War off. Portals off. Placement is gonna be auto. The card bonuses is going to be progressive. It's going to be an expert bot if somebody bots out 90 seconds because Pangea is a big map. No alliances, and you have true random dice rolls, which means that you have to be careful whenever you're trying to run the 70. Which is the... Okay, so this is how Pangea looks if you guys have any question. And of course, the map is... Spain is going to be the flag for this map. So that is a territory that if somebody wants to win and get those extra points, that is a territory that they actually have to hold. Now, Pangea is a big, mostly open map. There is not many positions where people can be kill guarded. So it is a good map for people to actually try to play just a free-for-all, true random 70% game. So that is going to be the settings for the next round. Now, moving on to the TREM tournament, the True Random Evolve Meta Tournament. So, for this tournament, again, the games were broadcasted on twitch.tv Mr. Revolve, and all the games will be uploaded and have been uploaded into Mr. Revolve's YouTube channel, so go ahead and look him up. Now, this tournament is also coming to a close. The finals will be upcoming, and the question is, who are the finalists and when is the game going to be taking place? Well, if you want to know, folks, it is going to be announced tonight at 1 UTC. Mr. Evolve, he did a video, and it's going to be uploaded tonight at 1 UTC. So if you want to know who are the finalists and when the game is going to be played, go and make sure that you tune in to Mr. Evolve's YouTube channel later on tonight so you guys can check and see who are going to be the finalists for this tournament. This tournament happened already, at least the first 4 rounds. So right now it's only to know who are going to be playing for that first place and that championship. And of course, the money that is going to be paid for the person that wins that tournament. As everybody knows, the settings are the meta settings. The meta settings are the settings that everybody plays to rank up, or mostly everybody. There is people like Carter that they play zombies, and there is other people that play other settings too. But this is the settings that most of us play, trying to rank up and reach Grandmaster or top 100. So the settings are Europe Advanced, Capital Conquest, with Blizzards, with Fog of War. In this case, there is no portals. Placement is auto, and that means, placement is auto. The card bonuses are progressive, expert, 60 seconds. This game is going to be with alliances, which means that you decide who you want to ally with or not. Now, the two things that people need to understand about this is that there are 2 hiccups that you need to remember. Number 1 is that this is true random. It's a meta settings, but you have to play with true random, which is a nightmare. I think that is a sort of nightmare. And the second thing is that your cap is also going to be randomly placed by the bot, which means that you have to let the timer run out, and whatever the bot decides to place your cap, that's where you cap, folks. So this game is hard enough. Whenever you have to choose your cap, it's even harder when the bot does it for you. Again, for those of you that don't know the meta settings, these are the meta settings, this is how it looks, and these are the bonuses, but I guess most of us already know more than our fair share about the meta settings. Now, the 2v2 tournament, it already started, and it's actually going through its second week this week. I'm so sorry for that. I was a little bit behind on that, so we're going to go over the round 2 settings, and then we're going to also be covering the round 3 settings, because these are going to be the settings that are going to be coming next week. I need to still reach somebody to see if they can help us with this segment, talking more about the 2v2 and trying to understand how each one of these maps impacts the game better. So I will see if one of my Risk friends that they are more knowledgeable about this map, they are willing to maybe next week they can help us with more information about the 2v2. Again, I would like to relay that information, but I'm not an expert in 2v2, and I don't want to misinform you guys too much. So, oh, I forgot to say, so that is all the default settings, which means that all the games have these settings. Now, in each maps, they say something, and whatever is there, that means that is going to be changing. So, by default, everybody has to play. Yeah, by default, everybody has to play without blizzards. It's going to be with fog of war, portals off. You're going to have auto placement, progressive, expert, 60 seconds. Alliances are on, but you usually only ally your partner, of course. Then you have neutral, bots. You have balance blitz, and there is no bots. It's only a 2v2 unless you're playing zombies. And the settings for the map for the second round, you're going to have the first game is going to be SMG Spaceport. It's going to be 70%, and it's going to be played with unstable portals. Which means that you can win the game by getting the 70%, but you can also win the game by eliminating the other team. The second game is going to be 28 turns later, and it's going to be played with zombies. The next game is going to be Redacted, and that is going to be played with caps. The fourth game is going to be Skulls and Crossbones. It's going to be World Domination with stable portals. And the last game is going to be Was Castle, Speed Blitz, Blizzards Fix. So those are all the things that change for that last game. Now, this round is already happening, or it already happened until this week, which means that we're going to be moving on to the third round. For the third round, actually, the game was Britannia Advanced 70%. That is the first one that is going to be played next week. Then you have Overworld. The second game is going to be Overworld with zombies and one bot that is going to be added to cause some mayhem. The third game is going to be Europe Advanced Caps with 2 bots. And the fourth game is going to be Dino Canyon 70%. And the last game is going to be Europe Advanced World Domination with 1 bot. So those are the settings for the third round. I'm gonna try to reach somebody, and we can go over the maps for these 2v2, and they can actually bring more information about how to play. I would like to add the keys for this tournament, but I don't know them, folks. So let us see if we can bring somebody to help us out. Now, there is also the upcoming tournament sessions, folks. So for the upcoming tournaments, let me remind you all that we have the signups are open for the BIP Invitational tournament, folks. So this is a tournament that is only for verified players. By verified, we means that you need to have that blue check mark right there. So the signups are open. So if you already have a blue check mark, feel free to sign up to the tournament. If you haven't, worry not, my friend. You still have until October 23rd. You have about a month to reach that verified status and get your blue checkmark. How do you get the blue checkmark, folks? I know you're asking, and this is a reminder. First of all, really important, your account needs to be in good standing. You couldn't be found liable of hacking or any of those things that are prohibited. You can be an admin or a mod in the main Risk Discord server. You can be a VIP also, or you can be a video content creator. And over there you see the requirements if you want to be BCC verified. That is the one that I have. I have mine for Twitch as a video content creator, folks. Now, this is an upcoming tournament that is actually starting this week, and this tournament is called the Pharaohs. I have a problem saying that word, so I'm so sorry. I'm gonna keep pushing the word. So I'm going to repeat the word over and over and over again, and it's gonna be sounding weird every time that I said it. So I'm so sorry. It doesn't come as natural to me. So Pharaoh's Pyramid. This is a game where all of the games are going to be played in the Doom map, and the name of the tournament is the Pharaoh's Pyramid. Now, the signups opened last week, but I couldn't add that to the presentations because they made the announcement. They made the announcements, and I was doing the news last week while they were making the announcements. So the tournament is open for anybody that would like to join. The sign-ups closed yesterday, so I'm so sorry for that. But if you sign up today or throughout this week, you will be added to the waiting list, which means that if somebody doesn't show for their allotted spot, they are going to be, you can be called, and then you can join the tournament, and that person is responsible for getting themselves back into the tournament. So there is still hope. You can still go for it. Now, the nice thing about this tournament is that all the games are going to be played on the Dune map. And also, we have the Grandmaster tournament. You have until today to sign up for the Risk Grandmaster. So the only requirement for this game is that you have to be or have evidence that once upon a time you have been a Grandmaster. So if you were proud that you reached a Grandmaster and you took a snapshot of your rank and you sent it to your mother to be happy, like, hey mom, I'm a nice boy, I'm a good girl, I got the Grandmaster on Risk, feel free to just show that to the organizers, and you're gonna be in for the Risk Grandmaster tournament. You have to be a member, you have to be part of the Risk Grandmaster Arena server on Discord, and in there you can join. And the Risk Grandmaster is a really interesting tournament. Of course, everybody has to be a Grandmaster level, but there is a BC, and they have like two different brackets. You have the winner's bracket and the loser's bracket. So that means that even if you lose a game, whenever they start eliminations, that doesn't mean that you're gonna be eliminated. You have another chance to come back, to crawl your way back from the graveyard. Now, I am happy to announce, folks, that we already secured our next interview. We have another awesome player that is making awesome things in the Risk community that agreed to an interview with us after our first interview with EJ Snicks. It was nice, and now we move on to the next one. And that interview is going to be with Eirik. So Eirik agreed to an interview with us, and that is going to be awesome. For those of you that don't know who Eirik is one of the mastermind behind the Friends of Risk web page. That is one of the nice things. That is one of the better resources that are out there for the Risk community. If you want to know about the Sabr Rankings, for those of you that don't know what the Sabr Rankings is, that is something that we can ask him too. But in that page, you have the Sabr Rankings. The Sabr Rankings out of ranking, of course, but that is mostly taking into consideration the different results of people through the different tournament scene. It's not only how are you making it to the FFA tournament. Well, like, we have like 3 or 4 tournaments that they are closing out this week. So that means that from next week forward, we don't have at least 3 of them. And actually, in 4 weeks, we don't have 4 of them. So I have to find stuff to talk about. So we have the Friend of Risk. Hello, Sergio. How are you doing, my friend? So Eirik is Friends of Risk. He is one of the mastermind behind Friends of Risk. That is a resource web page where you can go. And right now they are integrating with the FFA, with the main Risk core server. That means that if you join the Friends of Risk, you can make an account, you can add your availability there. So that means that for future tournaments, people already know when you are available, and you can, and they are automating everything. They are doing an epic job. Some of the things Sneak already said when we interviewed about 3 weeks ago, but right now Eirik can tell us a little bit more about the webpage, what was the motivation behind that. So if you guys have any kind of question, feel free to let me know, add that here. And also he was the mastermind. Also, he was the brain behind the awards that we presented last winter. It was the Risk Community Awards. He was the one with the idea, and it was a nice idea because I think the awards are a good way to also celebrate and recognize all of these players that are doing a lot in the community. Not only playing and killing it in every tournament, but they are also doing a great job in different ways, different facets, like himself. So we're gonna be talking with Eirik. The date, we're still talking with that. He agreed to the interview. We're gonna be getting the date probably in a few weeks from now. So you guys can let me know here on Twitch, or you can also let me know on the YouTube channel, on the YouTube video once I upload it. What questions do you have for Eirik? What would you like to know? What are how much do you want to know? Just let us know, and I will be relaying the questions to Eirik. Again, guys, remember, no controversies, nothing with bad taste. This is just an interview to have fun and to know more about these people that they're taking out of their time, they're taking out of their effort, they're taking out of their lives to ensure that we have a nice risk community, that we have resources, that we have tournaments, and we have a smooth experience. Like almost nobody's getting paid for doing all of this. So people, I I wanted to interview Snicks first last week. Last time I already said about that, but I wanted to interview Eirik. For me, Snicks was a clear first person that I wanted to interview, but it was like 1A, 1B, because I also wanted to interview Eirik, and it's awesome that he said yes, and we're gonna have the opportunity. So anyway, let us know here on Twitch, or let us know in the upcoming weeks. What would you like to know? What would you like us to ask Eirik? And lastly, we don't have any more news from the developers. They haven't made any kind of communications, but we can remind you all that they're doing a giveaway for the newsletter. So you have until October 4th. That is gonna be, I think, next Friday, right? Yeah, from the time of this, right now that I'm doing this, you have until next Friday to sign up to the newsletter. And maybe you're asking, why would I like to receive emails from these people? Well, in my case, I think we have a nice incentive, because they are gonna be doing a giveaway, and as part of that giveaway, they're gonna be giving away 12 of these awesome troops. They're not just troops for your game. It's not gonna be for Risk. It's actually a troop. It's gonna be like a figurine that you can be using your house just to decorate, and I want the black one, so I sign up, and I hopefully I can get mine. So if not, no problem. I hope that one of you guys are watching this get it, and if you do, let me know, and we might be able to just shout you out, just so you guys, I don't know, just so you guys can also get some recognitions that you got one of these beauties. I'm not a fan of the Sandworms. I'm a fan of the daggers, but they look awesome, and I want the black one. So those are the risky news for this week, folks. We are gonna be coming back next week with more information. So for those of you on YouTube, Harlow says bye-bye. For those of you on Twitch, stay, because we're gonna be playing more meta settings games. And that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Again, for YouTube, Twitch, don't leave me yet, okay? So thank you so much for watching. Chop chop. Bye-bye.